Alright everyone, welcome back once again to this Beefcast presentation in association with Muatorn TV, bringing you some more games out of WCS Europe Championships. This is upper round 2 between these two players here on Ohana. Why don't we get it started? Brandon, how are you going?
I'm good. I'm doing...
No. How are you going?
I'm going well, dude.
You're going well.
I'm going good.
This is incredible, actually.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to start all of them like that.
Yeah.
How you going?
How you going?
That'll be our thing.
It's like, how you doing, but how you going?
How you doing?
You know what? You know who's going good? Our blue Terran in the top left-hand corner, playing for Team Evil Geniuses. He's ThorZaIN.
Yeah, because, spoiler alert, he won his last match. Just in case you didn't watch that game.
Yeah.
Now, cat's out of the bag.
ThorZaIN's a pretty good player.
Yeah, and his opponent in the bottom right corner on the Team FXO. I'm not actually sure if he's still on FXO, but he is Lowely.
Yeah, he's totally still on FXO.
Is he? Okay.
I think so. I haven't heard about him leaving the team.
Yeah, I don't know. I was under the impression FXO was like only Koreans.
No, they have two different rosters.
Oh.
They have the Korean roster, and then they have the European roster.
See, that just shows you how much I notice the FXO players.
Yeah, the FXO Europeans
watch.
are pretty good. I mean, there's like, who's there? Baby Knight?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? Baby Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're right.
Who else? There's Lowely.
Should have looked this up.
Is there Strelok? No.
Strelok.
Who's Strelok with? I don't know.
Strelok still play?
I don't know.
I haven't actually seen him do anything for a while.
Strelok, he's pretty cool. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Anyway,
sure.
yeah, FXO, pretty awesome that they have two different teams. The European squad did come from the Guild of Imbalance. They were called IMBA FXO for a long time.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, hatch first from Zerg.
Yeah, hatch
Smaller
first against the Terran. If this was on
Yeah.
ladder, I would be scared for him about getting bunker blocked.
Yeah, me
Something
too.
like
And there's
that.
actually gas for ThorZaIN. He's only got 2 workers on it right now, so don't know why. Yeah, gas. What?
Yeah,
What's going on here?
He's going to be going for a command center into a factory. So it's going to be a 1-Rax expand Hellion. Reactor Hellion.
That is madness. Okay, now he's got 3 on there.
Yeah. This is completely standard.
Is it?
Pretty much.
I don't
Normally
really
you'd
know
see-
Terran Berserk very well. So.
Yeah, normally you'd see the command center there on the low ground.
Right.
But this is pretty standard.
Huh, okay,
For sure.
cool.
As soon as he hits 50 more gas, he's going to drop the reactor on that barracks, and that'll be swapped out there with the factory.
There it is.
Yep.
You're a prophet.
You know, it's almost like I play Zerg and have to know Terran openings pretty well.
I don't know.
Or like I'm a caster and just try to learn openings in general. But
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Those both seem rather unlikely. I think it's like you're a prophet.
yeah, and we do see a third command center coming down here, so this is not necessarily standard. It's going to be a little bit greedier of an opening, more eco-oriented for ThorZaIN. And we'll see if Zerg does choose to punish this, although we do already see a drone going to be moving out. Possibly could be looking to take a relatively early third, but not having any scouting information right now, I'd be a little bit scared to do that. One Overlord making its way into the natural expansion wants to be able to check what's going out there, and I might see him make his way up into the main relatively soon here, but nothing just yet.
I think he's just gonna keep an eye on the natural, and he'll probably see this command center when it goes over. Yeah, ThorZaIN playing real greedy, but you know he's kind of understands that most Zergs are quite greedy themselves. However, Lowely is starting a Baneling nest. He's still building drones though, so this is defensive.
Yeah, definitely a defensive Baneling nest there. He's going to see those Hellions come out, and he's going to be like, that's not necessarily what I wanted to see. But pretty standard. He's already got the Spine Crawler down at his front, so add a couple of Queens to that, and he's going to be able to defend pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. One thing to say, though, is his third isn't up yet still. Like, this is pretty late for his Zerg. And ThorZaIN's third is morphing into an orbital, so he's going to have triple mule before the third's even started for Lowely. Definitely an advantage, ThorZaIN.
Yeah, ThorZaIN going to have a huge eco advantage. Lowely's one of these players that is definitely comfortable playing on 2 base against a Terran. Going to be taking something like possibly early Mutas, a little bit of a throwback to how the game was played maybe a year ago. But right now, with double Evo chambers finishing up, he's probably going to be investing gas into upgrades, so not necessarily going to be doing any kind of Muta play right now.
Yeah, that would be surprising. What does this look like to you? I mean, you think Infestors then?
With that double upgrade style, Infestors is generally what you're going to see. But right now, Lowely's just trying to play defensive. He doesn't want to take any huge damage right now from ThorZaIN. He saw that the natural was placed out there very, very late. So he kind of got thrown off by that, thinking that his opponent might have been on 1 base and didn't take that nice early third. And it's very important to note here that he's only operating off of 2 queens. This is really kind of the reason why he's stuck on only 2 base. He wasn't able to get nice early creep spread. He's not able to have the correct unit composition to deal with these Hellions. And as a result, he's getting contained completely right now by ThorZaIN.
Yeah, we do see the infestation pit on the way, so you were right, Infestors. 12 Lings also on the way, and 1-1 has also been started, so I mean, maybe he wants to try to fungal the Hellions and kill them off with Lings. That could definitely work.
Yeah, that could most certainly work. The one thing that you don't want to do in that situation is waste a whole ton of fungal energy killing those Hellions off, just because that can leave you very vulnerable to any kind of bio follow-up, which is what ThorZaIN is massing up on right now, starting that Marine and tank production back at home, along with 1-1 upgrades of his own. So these players are going to have a little bit of upgrade parity. The Banshee was able to make its way into the main base there and check for what was going on. Did in fact see the double upgrades working and the infestation pit, but he wasn't able to get any drone kills. But the Banshee doing a little bit of damage there. No cloak on that, so not a huge investment.
Is the Banshee dead? I'm looking for it and I can't see it.
It's at the middle of the map on the Zerg Zelnaga tower.
Oh, okay. There it is. Yeah, he's almost dead, but still alive. Third here is being blocked by ThorZaIN. Apparently he had an overlord over there, but I think he saw the gases. So I'm assuming he knows. Yeah, so he saw the gases building. He knows that the third is on the way. He's definitely in the know now. Yeah, anyway. Good for him to know, anyway. Holy shit, I just said no like 7 times. Stop me.
It happens. So with those 5th and 6th gases going up, there's going to be a lot of gas income if ThorZaIN does choose to use those. That could be something that he could add a second factory on to get that double tank production. That could be something that's very, very good against a high amount of Zerglings. But right now, ThorZaIN really just retaining his eco lead. Let's take a look at the harvester count. 63 drones to 56 SCVs, but with triple mules, ThorZaIN is pretty far in the lead. If we take a look at the income tab, about 2,100 versus 1,800 in terms of mineral income, and ThorZaIN with actually substantially higher gas income at about 750 as opposed to only about 500.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, ThorZaIN ahead in gas income? What is this? Just a super late third by Zerg, so he hasn't been able to saturate those gases. He has now, so it's even, but you seeing a Terran ahead on gas for a little while just kind of says the positioning of this game. ThorZaIN is economically ahead.
Yeah, it's something that it's really going to come back to bite Lowely. The fact that he's playing a race that, generally speaking, relies on economic macro advantage. And he was never able to execute that macro advantage because of his lack of queens. The queens weren't able to get him the map control that he needed in order to take his third and an early fourth to establish that macro lead. And that kind of puts us in the situation that he's in. He's just starting to get that creep spread going. The Hellions are still out on the map trying to keep their half of the map control, and ThorZaIN very, very comfortably right now going all the way up to 3 factories to get this tank production just absolutely booming. The upgrades for ThorZaIN are going to be a little bit slower. They're going to be pretty much on par with the Zerg right here. The players very equal in that respect, but ThorZaIN's going to max out before Broodlords make their way onto the fields, and that is never a situation that you want to be in against Zerg, especially when he's going to have as many tanks as he is going to have in this composition. Zerglings and Infestors simply are not going to be effective to deal with this entrenched tank army.
Yeah, tanks no bueno versus Broodlords. Lowely's fourth is finished now. He's got, what is this, 78 drones? 87, holy shit. He's got 10 more on the way, too, so he's probably going to build a bunch of spines with that. I don't really see him going over 100 drones. actually using them. And this Banshee here, that has apparently been repaired, comes in, kills a few drones, and probably just gonna run away. We'll
looks
have
like
to
he's
see.
going to fight the queen for a while. And that Banshee will kill the queen. But the Spore... Oh, no! The Spore Crawler does finish there. And that's unfortunate. But the Terran are already pushing out here onto the map. But one Infestor doing a very nice job of getting these tanks to fire on one another. So nice job from Lowely there. Going to borrow a couple more Infestors. Try to do that once again. But actually some really bad control there with Infestors. Does in fact lose 3 as Zerglings are going to come crashing in. But the siege tank line is very deep. All the Zerglings are wiped out at this point. And all those drones that you just mentioned that Lowely has, that's going to come back to bite him right here because he simply does not have enough army supply right now. He had those drones, he built spine crawlers and spore crawlers to defend from drops, but some continual poor infestor control right here. And ThorZaIN's going to have a perfect siege attack onto this 4th base, and it's going to be falling. You need to back those units up and not try to fight this. He can't engage this cost effectively, but he's going to be going in anyway. Some nice fungals do go down on some of the medevacs and some of the marines, but that siege tank and marine line is so deep right here. He's just throwing supply away.
Yeah, he did manage to kill all the medevacs with his infestors, but that was all of his fungal energy except for 2. He doesn't have enough fungals to deal with these marines and tanks now. I don't really know if focusing 4 medevacs with all your fungals was worth it, but we see the Hatcher here is about to go down. This marine tank army, like you said, is just too much for Lowely to deal with. He can't save his 4th. He doesn't lose too many workers. He's still at 92, so economy is still really nice as far as drone count goes, but it's still on 3 bases, so a lot of those workers are just going to be completely useless.
And Broodlords are going to be showing themselves right here, but already Viking production on the way. And those Vikings are going to be very good at dealing with these Broodlords that have no Infestor or Corruptor support right now. And in fact, the 2 Vikings that are already out on the map might even be able to pick off a Broodlord here, and one does fall. And Infested Terrans and Fungals being used on a Viking right there that's not even going to get picked off.
Yeah, it's really hard to deal with Vikings that are split up with Infestors. It just isn't effective. You need something like... Well, I guess you can drop Infested Terrans, but even still, it's not the best way of dealing with it. You need something like a couple Corruptors just to kill these Vikings off. One thing to note is there's only 1 starport of production right now. So if Lowely can muster up the economy, muster up the money to get a bunch of Broodlords and Corruptors, he can be in a good position just because, Vikings take a while to produce off 1 starport.
Definitely, and we did see the 4th base going down once again there for Lowely on the right side of the map. Marines doing a very good job of forcing that out. Zergling's going to try to make their way into this tank line right here and pick off a couple of tanks. They do get 1, but losing about 40 Zerglings for that, not exactly what you want to have happen. A small Marine contingent on the bottom right-hand side of the map is taking out a couple of Overlords and maybe looking to try to deny that 5th base once again, or even drop into the natural. But with the medevac over here, probably going to get sniped by these Corruptors very soon, and Fungal's going to be going down onto some of these Marines. Another medevac does come in fully loaded with Marines, and that's not what you want to have happen when you're running into a large group of Corruptors, and those Marines do get unloaded, 4 of them making it out of the medevac before their brothers fall. And ThorZaIN content to really segment off his side of the map right now, make his transition into double Viking production, and get that Viking count up nice and high before he attempts to punish his opponent once again.
Yeah, and 15 more drones on the way. Lowely's just making so many drones. Obviously, he's going to turn a bunch of these into spines. Actually, yeah, he apparently lost some drones, so he's now going to be over 100 still, so still going to need to make some buildings with those. And the Corruptor count is only at 6 right now, and he's only got 1 in Broodlord, so not really going for a lot of air units. He's been producing a lot of links, he's been getting upgrades, but not so much the units that would probably bring him closer to winning. That was a nice little Infested Terran there to kill off 1 tank, but I think he lost the Infestor as well. Yeah,
he most certainly did, and I was looking in the main base as another starport did finish up there with a tech lab, started researching Corvid reactors, so we're going to be seeing a Raven transition.
Ravens. I do love me some Ravens. They're just so good for Zerg. If you get to that point where Zerg is at the Broodlord, Infestor, Corruptor army, that's more or less the only way you can deal with it. No amount of Marines will ever kill that, and Vikings clump up so easily, so I'd love the Raven choice. It's one of the best ways of dealing with Broodlords.
Yeah, Ravens definitely can be extremely fun. Myself as a Zerg player, I hate seeing them because I have really bad Broodlord control, and I get obliterated by them. But
I would
we
work
do
on that.
see a little bit of a Thor pickup there. I wanted to see a Thor drop. Brings me back to my days on Shattered Temple.
We don't
Zerglings
talk
and
about Shattered
Banelings
Temple.
making their way into the 4th base over here. The Planetary Fortress getting completely surrounded by Zerglings, and it does fall. But at the
Oh
same
no!
time...
All those SCVs are gonna die!
Oh no!
Did you see
Oh
that?
yeah,
That was glorious.
That made me a little bit happy to see. I like watching Banelings kill SCVs and Marines. And nice splitting coming out of ThorZaIN right here, as he does manage to clean up that Baneling attack, but at the same time, Lowely has given up so much position, so much map control over here. Look at his base just being sieged up completely by Thors, Vikings, tanks, and I don't know if Lowly's simply going to have what it takes here. These Vikings are so well spread out. Nice Fungal's going to be going down on a couple of these groups of Vikings, but all the Corruptors, everything in the sky has been taken out right here. Still has a lot of Corruptors and a lot of energy, but he has nothing to engage those siege tanks right now, which are going to remain sieged up deep in a line over here and just harass the hell out of these Zerg. And all the spine crawlers are down at this point, meaning that he can just roll in there with whatever units that he has and split them up nicely, and they're going to be able to punish those infestors.
Yeah, tanks are so good versus only ground units. You can, it's generally you want to have something of a buffer for them, so Marines or, Hellions or whatever if you're playing mech. But even still, like, versus just Ling, Infestor, Baneling, if you have enough tanks, it doesn't matter, because everything dies before they get to your tanks. And even if they do get to your tanks, they don't, they've lost too much stuff by that point to win the engagement versus the rest of them. So, love the decision to push in here with these tanks. He's not making any more, he's still making a lot of Vikings. He's making some Banshees as well. He's only got 1 Raven, which I'd love to see more, but perhaps he only wants to use the PDD with it.
Yeah,
He's not.
He doesn't have Seeker Missile. So that's a little bit unfortunate. This is going to be exclusively for PDD. A nice Marine run by on the right side of the map does eliminate the 5th base once again, but Zerglings going to be making their way over to the 5th base of ThorZaIN, try to cut off some of these reinforcements, but at the same time ThorZaIN pushing in with the Vikings, with the Banshees, with his Sky Terran army right now, and the Zerg going to try to get back in there as well. The Corruptor is going to be doing a significant amount of damage to some of these air units, but all of the Corruptors have fallen at this point. It is nothing but Queens, 2 Broodlords, and a few Infestors left. At the same time, those Zerglings cleaning up a lot of the base over here at the 3rd. The supply depot wall does go down, and ThorZaIN down to only 130 supply right now, mining off of only 1 base, the Planetary Fortress over here at his 5th.
Yeah, he's got, like, a good army here. Well, he did. He's got a lot of tanks, but he's lost most of his Vikings. But these Ling Run buys have just killed him. He didn't even have a single tank behind that depot wall, which might have saved him if, one of those depots or a couple of those depots have been switched out for a bunker with a Marine in it, and then you put 1 tank behind that. That's pretty much unassailable for any number of Lings. At least make him make Banelings, but at this point, if it's just a, like a lone depot wall, Lings will kill that, and they're even probably going to kill these Marines and the Viking. Well, not with the reinforcements.
Yeah, those Lings will actually shred the Marine army. Yeah, it's going to kill that amount of Marines, but the reinforcements over there are able to come in. Ling's even surrounding a Thor over here in the middle of the map, but more Ling's going to be making their way into the 3rd, completely denying ThorZaIN mining and production from that area. ThorZaIN at the same time continuing Viking production, but behind this, Lowely has made the transition to Ultralisks. 9 Ultralisks, 3-3 with chitinous plating on the way, making their way out onto the field. There are 0 Marauders in this composition, 0 Marauders on the map, and Viking productions is not going to be good against Ultralisks.
Yeah, Vikings are more or less useless. Unless you have a lot of them and you spread them all out, but even then, just Lings will kill them at that point. So, I really don't see what ThorZaIN can do there. He can keep making tanks, I suppose. He can make a few Marauders, get some bio, and perhaps just abandon tech units. Like, is he gonna go Marauder, Marine, Medevac?
That's how you beat Ultralisks. You spread those bio units out, and Ultralisks going to be crashing in to the Planetary Fortress right here and doing so much damage to it. SCVs trying to get the repair off, but not going to happen. A Fungal going down on all the Sky Terran units, and all those units are in fact going to fall. I think that ThorZaIN's having a little bit of a bad day. He played this game so very well, but Lowely making use of the strong ability of Zerg to tech transition on a dime and really catch his opponent off guard. Those Zergling run-bys really paying their way and making their point known.
You need something to defend your wall. You can't just have a depot wall, because, I mean, walls can't attack.
Oh
we learned this in Age of Empires like forever ago. Walls do not do damage. They will delay, but they can't kill stuff, so...
And Ultralisk crashing down into the third once again. The Marines and Marauders doing a nice job of splitting right here, but GG well played comes down to ThorZaIN, and Lowely actually takes game number 1, and I had kind of written Lowely off ever since the beginning of that game when he got that third at 10 minutes, 11 minutes. I was like, oh, ThorZaIN's got a huge advantage here, and Lowely played well throughout the rest of the game, made the right decisions, and was able to bring it to a 1-0 in this series.
Yeah, well played by Lowely here. Those counters, like we said, just good choice, man. Not much else to say.
Definitely. All right, this has been game 1 of the best-of-3 series. We're going to move on to see if ThorZaIN can even it up or Lowely takes it here in 2-0 fashion. I've been your casting host, Beef. Check these VODs over on my YouTube at youtube.com/beefpotpie1, or check out Muatorn over at his YouTube, youtube.com/MuatornTV. That is MUATARAN. Brandon, anything else before we go on?
No, you pretty much covered it, man. You even plugged for me. That was awesome.
I do my thing. All right, we're moving on. Hope to catch you guys.